I welcome all of you to this sixth day of the Ramayana Kids Camp, and this is the penultimate day. Penultimate day means just the last but one day. So, welcome all of you, and today too we are going to have an exciting day today. So, let's take a look at Yuddha Kanda of Ramayana. So, how was your day yesterday? Great. Namit, Samhita, Spandan, Yashas, Arjun, Suruchi. Very nice. Nice to see all of you. Nanda Kishore, Vaishnavi, Swaraj. Nice to see all of you. All right. So shall we start with Yuddha Kanda? Okay, great. So please drop your hands down because I'll keep dropping your hands anyway. Lower your hands. Hasika. Oh, somebody by name Neil is there. Null and Neil. They will make their appearance today. So we have 3 videos, a very long Nam Ramayan and a lot of descriptions. So I may skip most of the descriptions, which because Yuddha Kanda is one of the longest chapters in Ramayana. So I may leave out a lot of details, but you can go and read from the Ramayana. All right. So that is something that you need to do. And let's take a look at Yuddha Kanda. Let me share my screen. Vrinda's dance, Janavi Manjule. I am seeing in on YouTube also. Okay, so here is the let me share the screen and let's start. So this is an initiative of Iskcon Srirangam and Harmonix Global Foundation. This segment is going to be Yuddha Kanda. This is the 6th Kanda of Ramayana. We have seen 5 Kandas before, and the first quality of a student, like in the olden days, they used to talk about guru and disciple, the teacher, the master, and the disciple, right? So the word disciple comes from discipline. So the first quality of a student is to be disciplined. Okay, so let's start. So like I told you, we are going to get into Yuddha Kanda, and this session is also dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And we stopped Sundarakanda with Hanuman going back to Lord Rama and then narrating all the incidents that had happened, how he had met Sita Devi, and Lord Rama was extremely pleased. So after that, Lord Rama immediately declared that they should move towards Lanka. So they walked the entire Vanara army with millions of Vanaras. They all walked to the southernmost tip of India. So there, Lord Rama called for a meeting of all the Vanara leaders. Jambavan was there, Sugriva, Angada, Nala and Neela, Mainda, Dvivida, all of them, Hanuman, everybody, including Lord Rama and Lakshmana, they all gathered for a meeting. And at the same time, Ravana had called all of his leaders for a meeting. So Prahast was there, Malyavan was there, Kumbhakarna was there. Kumbhakarna, he was a younger brother of Ravana, and he would sleep for 6 months. He had got a boon like that from Lord Brahma. Actually, it was almost like a curse. He had got a boon to sleep for 6 months, and one day he would wake up, and after that, again he would sleep for 6 months. And again he would wake up for a day, then he would sleep for 6 months. So this was Kumbhakarna's life. He was just sleeping all the time. Only one day he would wake up. So then, just a minute. Okay, so they all gathered, all the leaders of Ravana's army, they all gathered, and Ravana was asking them how they can become victorious against Lord Rama's army. So Ravana's spies had already, they had given information to Ravana that Lord Rama has reached the shores of India, I mean the other side of Lanka, with a huge Vanara army running into millions and millions of Vanaras. So then all the chieftains, all the chiefs, the commanders in chief, the ministers of Ravana's army, they were all giving suggestions and glorifying Ravana. Some were boasting, I can single-handedly destroy all the Vanaras. They are tiny, puny human beings. What can they do? Oh, Ravana, you have been victorious over all the 14 systems, planetary systems. Who can defeat you? Like that, they did not know the position of Lord Rama to be Lord Vishnu, Narayana himself. They did not know that. So they were boasting around, like this. So then Ravana was taking this counsel. At that time, Vibhishana got up, the younger brother of Ravana. He got up and he advised Ravana to return Sita Devi back to Lord Rama, right? So at this, Ravana became extremely angry, and he scolded Vibhishana like anything. He chastised him. He said, you are envious of me, you Vibhishana, and that is why you are talking like this. So at that point in time, Vibhishana, he actually insulted Vibhishana like anything, humiliated him. So Vibhishana became extremely upset, and he rose in the air. He said, okay, Ravana, I'm not going to be with you anymore. I have my self-respect, and Lord Rama is on the side of Dharma. You are completely on the side of Adharma. You have abducted someone else's wife. You have kidnapped someone else's wife. So I'm not going to be with you anymore. So Vibhishana rose to the sky, because Rakshasas had that power. So he rose to the sky, and some of Vibhishana's just a minute. Okay, there are too many people disturbing the meeting. Just a minute. So some of the very close friends or associates of Vibhishana, they also rose into the sky along with him, and immediately they crossed over the ocean to the other side towards the camp of Lord Rama. And here Lord Rama was discussing, and then they were just thinking about how they can cross over the ocean with such a large army. It was practically going to be not possible. So therefore, Lord Rama was discussing, and at that time, Sugriva and Hanuman, they saw a streak of light coming towards them in the sky. They could see a streak of light. So Sugriva looked closely and he saw that there were some Rakshasas coming. So Sugriva thought that, oh, these Rakshasas have been sent by Ravana, they're coming to kill. And he thought that immediately he has to he has to kill them, catch them and kill them. And so he was waiting for the Rakshasas to come. Then when they came closer, Sugriva halted them. He said, stop, who are you? Why are you here? And Vibhishana told very truthfully that I am the younger brother of Ravana, and I have come to take shelter of the glorious Rama. This is what Vibhishana told. Then anyway, when Lord Rama was told about Vibhishana's arrival, Lord Rama asked for Vibhishana to be brought forward in front of him. And Vibhishana came, and at that point in time, everybody was giving different suggestions. Some were saying we should not trust him, we should drive him away. Some of them were saying that we should put somebody to watch him all the time. So like this, different things were going on. But towards the end, Hanuman spoke. And Hanuman, you remember that Sita Devi had told how she had heard from Trijata that Vibhishana always used to keep advising Ravana to return her to Lord Rama. So Hanuman knew about Vibhishana, and he also had heard how Vibhishana had stopped Ravana from trying to kill Hanuman. So he knew that Vibhishana was a very virtuous person. So immediately after that, he told Lord Rama in confidence that, my dear Lord, I have seen the virtuous behavior of Vibhishana, and Sita Devi herself had told about this. So kindly accept him. So Lord Rama also told that anybody who comes to take shelter of me, I cannot stop from giving them shelter. So therefore, I'm going to accept Vibhishana, and he is from Ravana's army, and he might be knowing a lot of secrets of the army of Ravana. So therefore, let us accept. So this shows that Lord Rama is Sharanagata Vatsala. Sharanagata Vatsala means he is very, very kind towards those who want to take his shelter. All right, so this is Lord Rama. Then Sugriva, while talking to Vibhishana, he asked Vibhishana, how can we cross this ocean? So you might be knowing how to do this. So please tell how we can cross the ocean. So at that point in time, Sugriva was told by Vibhishana that maybe Lord Rama can ask Varuna. Varuna is the presiding deity of the ocean. Lord Rama can ask Varuna to give a suggestion how all the army Vanara soldiers can cross over to the other side. So Lord Rama, when he was told about this, he thought that was a good idea. So he went to the shore of the ocean, and he spread kusha grass on the ground. So now this is a very interesting thing. This particular incident happened in a place known as Tirupullani. Tirupullani is a very holy Divya Desham, a temple in the southern part of Tamil Nadu near Rameshwaram. It is the place where Lord Rama, first thing what happened there was Vibhishana was given shelter there. Okay, that was the first thing. Quite a few things happened in that place. Vibhishana took shelter of Lord Rama there, and then Lord Rama worshipped Varuna there. Worship means he was in meditation, he was seeking the help of Varuna. And also at the same time, just give me a minute. There are some people who have entered the meeting today and they are creating a lot of trouble. Okay, I'm removing a person from. I'm sorry, children, because I don't know, some unscrupulous people are entering the meeting and they're causing a lot of disturbance for me. So, all right. So, Lord Rama, this particular incident also happened in that place called Tirupulani. It's a very, very nice place. And just a minute, just a moment. Okay, so that's the place, Tirupulani, where Lord Rama spread kusha grass on the ground, and for 3 days and 3 nights, he was praying, soliciting the help, asking for the help of Varuna. And at the end of the 3 days and 3 nights, when Varuna Dev did not appear, Lord Rama became very, very angry. Just like how he had become angry when Sita Devi was abducted, right? So that was the first time when Lakshmana saw the anger of Lord Rama. The same kind of anger Lord Rama displayed now. So this is the second time when he became so angry. So he took a Brahmastra and he said, I will dry up the water of the entire ocean, and then the monkeys can cross over, walk on the land, and then they can cross over. I'll dry up the ocean water. So he was very angry. At that point in time, so many things were happening around, all around. There were meteors falling and dark clouds and thunder and lightning. So at that point in time, Varuna became very, very upset, and then immediately he appeared in front of Lord Rama. So he came with folded hands along with his wife, and he took shelter of Lord Rama there. So that place, Tirupulani, is known for a place of taking shelter of Lord Rama. Now, how Lord Rama is Sharanagata Vatsala, the moment somebody takes shelter of him, then all the mistakes that were done, they are all forgotten. So similarly, this shelter, taking shelter of Varuna, also happened in that place called Tirupulani. And Varuna Dev, there he mentioned to Lord Rama that I will help you, O Rama, to find your wife Sita. So ask your monkey warriors to construct a bridge. They can throw stones and trees into the water, and by my energy, I will hold them up. I will not let the stones sink down into the water. So I will hold. So he suggested that Nala was one of the monkey warriors, and Varuna suggested that Nala, because he was the son of the architect of the Devatas. The architect of the Devatas was Vishwakarma, and Nala was actually the son of that Vishwakarma. So you remember Lord Brahma had told all the Devatas to take birth in the Vanara families. You see how different Devatas who were very important for the mission of Lord Rama, they had all taken birth as different Vanaras. So important to understand these things, how they work. So then afterwards, Nala was asked to construct the bridge, and then so many monkeys, they were tearing down mountains, they were uprooting trees, and they were taking different stones, different size stones, how much ever they can. Like for instance, Hanuman carried huge boulders, some other monkeys to their ability they carried, and at the same time there was one small squirrel which was also carrying some boulders. You can see here the top, so bottom left corner, you can see a squirrel. She was also carrying some dust and stones, and she was throwing into the water. So at that time, one of the Vanaras, he asked the squirrel to move away. Why are you stopping? You will get crushed. Please move away. We are working. So at that time, Lord Rama told Hanuman that, oh dear Hanuman. Hanuman was the Vanara who had asked. Out of concern, Hanuman said this. But then at that time, Lord Rama told, no, she, according to her capacity, whatever service she can render, she is rendering. So it is perfectly fine. Let her also render whatever service she wants to. Right? So this is the place from where the term of squirrel seva came. I'm just doing a little squirrel seva, like that some people say sometimes. So this is where that squirrel seva, or in Tamil they say anil sevai, like that, seva, squirrel seva. So that is where the term came from. And Lord Rama is bhavagrahi Janardana. Bhavagrahi means he only takes the bhava, the mood of a person. Okay, so he only takes that. So therefore, whatever service we can offer to Lord Rama, he will accept that. So two terms we have seen today. One is that he is Sharanagata Vatsala. Anybody takes his shelter, he immediately blesses them. And the second is that he is Bhava Grahi Janardana. Okay, so these are two things that we have seen today. Right. So like this, the bridge was built in a few days' time, and then the entire Vanara army. So the distance of 100 yojanas, the bridge was built, and the entire Vanara army started walking. It was how the entire bridge was 10 yojanas wide. So all of them crossed over and pitched their camp in Lanka. They reached the shore of Lanka. So that is what we are going to see here in this particular video. Then I will continue the narration a little later. Again, the next portion of the narration. So this is the portion where the Vanaras are confronting the ocean, especially Lord Rama. Okay, so watch this. Let me share the screen for the video. All right.
Quiet. How do we cross over to the other side?
We will need thousands of boats for these great troops.
Then we can build a bridge.
A bridge? Do you know how many years it will take to construct such a long bridge?
If it was only Mother Sita to be rescued, I'd fly to Lanka and accomplish the mission myself quite easily.
We have to rescue not only Sita, but others too. Ravan must be destroyed, or else there will be no lasting peace on earth.
Listen, all of you. A demon named Vibhishan, a brother of Ravan, comes in peace, seeking refuge.
He disagreed with his brother and protected me in Ravan's palace. I have observed his honest nature for myself. I see no fault in his joining our forces.
I agree with Hanuman. You're now amongst friends.
Bless me, O Lord. I have overheard your discussion on how to cross over to Lanka. I'd like to suggest you pray to the sea god and ask him for his help.
That's good advice, Vibhishan.
For 7 days and 7 nights, Ram prayed to the sea god. On the 8th dawn, the god revealed himself. Righteous Ram, build a bridge with stones. Inscribe your name on each stone, and the stones will not sink in the ocean. Instead, they will support not only monkeys, but all the living creatures from the mountains and the seas shall help you build this bridge, and the gods will bless you with success.
Now, let's start. Let us build the bridge.
Spursh punita
So that was nice, isn't it? How the how all the Vanaras, they built the entire bridge so nicely. So okay, let's continue with the presentation. So like this, all the Vanaras, they reached Lanka. And one thing you should remember about the Vanaras is that all of them were ready to fight, but they did not carry any weapons. They had no weapons. At best, the only weapon they could use was only, or maybe two weapons at the most. They could use stones, they could throw stones at the enemy, or they could uproot trees and throw. These were the only two weapons they could use. They did not know how to use a spear or a sword or a mace. They did not know. Only few of them, like maybe Hanuman, Sugriva, Angada, only they knew how to use weapons. Otherwise, most of the Vanara soldiers did not know. On the other hand, if you see, Ravana's army had people, great valiant generals, who had single-handedly defeated the Devatas. Very, very powerful. So actually, if you study both the armies, it's kind of a concluded thing that you can easily say, if you study based on the strengths of each army, you can say that the Vanaras are going to be squashed, finished. They will not win this war at all. But then they had Lord Rama on their side, and they had Dharma on their side. So this is what made them very, very strong, very powerful. So you can actually understand that ultimately, Dharma will win. Therefore, we should always be on the side of Dharma. We should do good things. We should also be on the side of good people, good circumstances, like that. We should never take shelter of things that are negative or bad. Okay, so like this oh, by the way, see, I told you earlier only, in the video sometimes there might be some discrepancy, but it was 3 days and 3 nights that Lord Rama asked for the help of Varuna. The video said 7 days, 7 nights. That's not correct. Okay, so 3 days and 3 nights is what Lord Rama worshipped Varuna. Okay, so now let's continue. On the other hand, so Ravana sent some spies like Shuka, Sharana. He sent some spies to find out what was the strength of Lord Rama's army. And Shuka went at one point in time, and the monkeys beat him up like anything. Then later Ravana again sent Shuka with Sharana. Shuka and Sharana went, and this time also they were caught and they were beaten up. But then they were taken to the tent of Lord Rama. They were taken there, and there Lord Rama, they said, it's okay. He laughed and he said, you have come to assess the strength of this army. It's all right. Nobody will stop you. You can go towards any corner of this army and you can see whatever you want to see. Go and tell Ravana what is the strength of this army. So you see, again, Lord Rama was confident about his own virtues, his dharma. He he was not thinking of, oh, how I will hide information from the enemy and like that I will win. He was not thinking like that. He was very clear that because I am on the side of Dharma and Ravana was on the side of Adharma, so definitely he was going to win. So whether a spy came and saw or didn't see, he was not bothered. Okay, so Shuka and Sharana, they returned to Ravana and then they started explaining, practically glorifying how great Lord Rama was, that he was so great that they set him free, all that they were praising Lord Rama and the Vanaras in front of Ravana. Ravana became so angry. He said, I am leaving you without killing you because you have done some service in the past. How dare you come to the king only and then you are glorifying the enemy of the king. So get away from my side, he said. Then he thought, okay, this is not going to work like this. I want Sita to submit to me. So what did he do? He called one of his magicians, Rakshasas, and he said, I will go to Sita now and I will tell that Rama, Lakshmana, Sugriva, Hanuman, they've all been killed. And Prahasta has personally chopped off the head of Rama. So when I say that, I will call you. At that time, you bring a magic head of Rama, his bow and his arrows. You bring all of those and show to Sita so that she will give up on the idea of living with Rama anymore and she will join with me. So this was Ravana's plan. And he did exactly as per plan. When Sita Devi saw that illusory head of Rama, she burst into tears. And she thought that she will give up her life immediately. She told Ravana also, oh Ravana, take me to the place where Rama's head is lying and kill me there also. There, you kill me also, she said. But then Ravana laughed, and when these things were going on, right around at that time, Prahasta entered the Ashoka Vatika and he whispered into the ears of Ravana something, and Ravana got little disturbed and he ran away. As soon as Ravana left that place, immediately the illusory head, that illusory bow and arrows, they disappeared. Then Vibhishana's wife Sarama came there and she explained to Sita Devi that this was just Ravana's trick. You don't have to worry about this. Okay, so this is what happened there. And after a while, just a minute. After a while, what happened was that a lot of things happened, but maybe I will not have the time to explain all of them. But then, just a minute. So on the day of the battle was going to begin. Ravana was seated on top of his palace, and here Lord Rama, he stood on a high mountain, a hillock actually, with Vibhishana and Sugriva. They were all standing. The other side, the Rakshasa army was getting ready, and on this side, the Vanara army was getting ready. And Lord Rama, actually, when he saw Lanka, he really admired the beauty of the city. So he thought, this is really a very beautiful city. While he was admiring like that, what happened? Sugriva looked at Ravana on the other side. He was so angry that he had kidnapped Sita Devi. He jumped from the hillock onto the palace and he went and punched Ravana on the face. So there was a big fight between the two of them. Ravana and Sugriva, they fell over the wall of the palace onto the ground and they were fighting there. So Sugriva was beating up Ravana like anything. And at one point in time, Ravana thought that he might lose that fight. So then he immediately started doing his magic tricks. And when Sugriva saw that, immediately he jumped back to Lord Rama. Lord Rama told Sugriva, what you did has touched my heart. But at the same time, you shouldn't have taken such a risk. What would have happened if something had happened to you? Right? So please don't do anything stupid like this anymore. So then the battle began. And then on the very first day, so many, also before the battle began, Lord Rama saw the armies standing and he told Vibhishana that there will be great death and destruction if this battle happens. I want to try one time before the battle begins to give Ravana a chance and prevent this bloodshed. So many people will unnecessarily die. Both Rakshasas and Vanaras will die. I don't want this to happen. So kindly call Angada. We will send Angada, and Angada can go and send a message to Ravana that he should stop this battle and he can return Sita, and I will forgive him and we will go back. So this was actually Lord Rama's idea. So then Angada was sent to Ravana, but then Ravana did not listen and he asked his Rakshasa warriors to kill Angada. Somehow Angada escaped from there with his strength. He was also a very powerful person and he came back. Okay, so this is basically what happened. Then the battle began and a big fight started, and this was going on. And on the very first day, so many of Ravana's generals were killed. Many days the battle raged on. Dhumraksha was killed, Akampana was killed, Prahasta died, and at that time, because so many of the generals were getting killed, Indrajit was also on the battlefield and he shot the Nagapasha, the serpent weapon, on Lord Rama and Lakshmana, and both of them fell unconscious. So when at a time when they were thinking, Sugriva, all of them, they did not know what to do. At that time, Garuda Dev, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, he appeared there and he's very gently he embraced his Lord Rama. So Garuda Dev's natural food is actually snakes. Snakes and Garuda, they are enemies. So the moment Garuda Dev was seen flying in the air with his huge wings and flapping, and immediately at that point in time, all the serpents went away. So the serpent weapon is where when it is shot, it will tie itself around the person on whom it has been shot, and it will slowly keep suffocating them to death. So when the serpent saw Garuda Dev, immediately they all ran away. And then the battle went on and on for so many days. And at one point in time, Ravana himself came into the battlefield. And on that day, Rama fought so chivalrously, courageously, that he defeated Ravana, killed his driver, and destroyed his chariot. destroyed his flag, and completely Ravana was left without any weapons. So at that point in time, Lord Rama told Ravana, Ravana, you're tired, you fought well, but then you're tired, so you don't have your weapons also. You go today and come back tomorrow when you're fresh. So Ravana went disgusted that his life has been spared by this human being. So he was very, very upset. And at that point in time, he recollected all the curses that different people had pronounced. He remembered the curse of Vedavati. He remembered the curse of Anaranya. He remembered the curse of Kuvera's son Nalakuvara. He remembered the curse of Nandishwara. All of these curses he remembered. And at one point in time, he thought, maybe I did a mistake. Probably I should have listened to Vibhishana's advice. So he was thinking like that. And then thinking that now I have absolutely no other recourse. Kumbhakarna has just slept, but I have to wake him up again. So he sent elephants and Rakshasas to wake up Kumbhakarna. Okay, so they went and made heavy noises and all that, and Kumbhakarna woke up. And a big battle happened again. But then Lord Rama killed Kumbhakarna also. And how did he kill him? He first shot and removed all his limbs, his legs and hands. And then after that, he fired a powerful weapon. Okay, powerful weapon he used called as the Aindra weapon. And using the Aindra weapon, he cut off the head of Kumbhakarna. His huge body fell into the ocean, and Kumbhakarna's head went and fell onto the streets of Lanka. And Ravana now, he did not know what to do. He thought, if Kumbhakarna has been killed by this tiny prince from Ayodhya, how am I going to become victorious against him? So he was very, very upset. And again he thought that probably I should have listened to Vibhishana's advice. So the battle happened, and at that time his son Indrajit came, and Indrajit gave assurance to his father, oh father, don't worry, I will go and fight. So Indrajit came and fought, and at that point in time, he hit Lord Rama and Lord Lakshmana, and both of them fell unconscious again. So that was the time when Jambavan, Sugriva, all the great leaders of the Vanara army, and Lord Rama and Lakshmana, all of them became unconscious. Jambavan was mortally wounded. He was very badly wounded. He just woke up. Only Vibhishana and Hanuman were not hurt among the leaders. So when Jambavan woke up, he first asked Vibhishana if Hanuman was alive. Hanuman was awake. So Vibhishana was surprised. He asked, why are you asking for Hanuman? You're not asking about Lord Rama and Lakshmana. You're asking for Hanuman. At that time, Jambavan said that if Hanuman is there, everyone could be protected. So he called Hanuman, and Hanuman came. Jambavan was the one who told Hanuman to go to the Himalayas and bring the Mrita Sanjeevani herb and 3 other herbs to restore all the lives of the dead Vanaras also. They can come back to life. So Hanuman, you know what happened. He jumped and he went to the Himalayas. He was not able to find the herbs. So he brought the entire hill itself. He brought the Dronagiri hill itself. Then immediately after that, Lord Rama and Lakshmana and all the warriors of Vanaras who had died, they all came back to life and their wounds were healed. So now we will watch this portion of the video. Okay.
Members of the council, we are facing an outbreak of war. What do you have to say, Prahast?
Your Majesty, you as the great Lord of Lanka need not have called this council just to consider this ridiculous threat from a handful of men and monkeys. Just send a couple of my men who are not even present at this council, and they will surely wipe out Ram's army.
You called me, O Ram?
Yes, brave prince of the Vanaras. Please, listen to what I have to say, carefully. For these many months, I've been thinking only of defeating Ravan. And now, my dream is about to come true. However, I have considered this matter over and over again, and I have concluded that I can stop this fight, even now, if my wife Sita and other captives are released, and they ask for shelter under me.
Quiet!
You are no doubt surprised, but the shedding of blood should be avoided, and real peace should come back to the three worlds. To ensure this, I am ready to forgive and forget the misdeeds of Ravan. Angad, could you carry this message to Ravan?
I understand. I will surely convey your message to Ravan.
Thank you, Angad.
Is that all you have to say to me? Well then, Angad, that's your name, isn't it? Here is my answer.
How despicable! Is this how you treat a messenger who comes in peace? Ravan! Ravan, I have your answer. And now I will carry your answer to Ram. The next time I see you, it will be on the battlefield!
Now, tomorrow morning, when the first rays of the sun touch the mountain tops, the battle will begin. I ask all of you present here, will you fight for justice and for Ram?
Hey! All hail to Ram! All hail to Supreme! Jai 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 Rakshasapati Jai 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 Rakshasapati Jai 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 Jai.
I pray to you, oh gods, I pray to you. Please, please protect Ram. Protect my husband.
The day began well for us, O king, but now the two armies seem equally matched. Our men are beginning to tire.
Let them withdraw at once then, and rest a while.
Respected one, that will only lead to our defeat. Let us send Kumbhakarna's sons, Kumbha and Nikumba. The tired soldiers can fall back to defense, but we shall keep up the pressure on the enemies until sunset.
Yes. At sunset, Ram will stop the battle for the day to tend to the wounded and to cremate the dead with honor.
Good. I will send forth Kumbha and Nikumba.
Indrajit, what are you saying? Prahast and Kumbh have both been killed?
Yes, father. It is unfortunate, but true.
I never thought Ram's army had anyone to match them. It is time to review our strategy. It cannot be helped under the circumstances. Indrajit, arouse Kumbhakarna from his sleep.
fight you with bare hands, because you're skillful enough to fight with weapons in dead earnest. It was good for you that I lost my mace. Now get up and fight.
Wait! Stop wherever you are. I am Ram, the Prince of Ayodhya, son of Dashrath.
Give away your stupid fools. So, you are Ram. You are a skillful swordsman, I hear. You are annoying me. Go away. Play with the little monkeys.
It has grown dark, and even with Kumbhakarna in the field, the battle goes on and on.
Father, I'll go to the battlefield and bring you a report.
Yes, Indrajit, my son.
Go.
Give me Kumbhakarna. I am only doing my duty.
Hail to the Prince of Ayodhya and your brother.
Sita!
May I talk with you for a moment? We have almost used up all the herbs around this area, but they don't heal the wounds inflicted by Indrajit at all.
What? What news is this?
Oh, God. Oh, God, I have already lost my beloved wife, Sita. And now I'm going to lose my dear, dear brother, Lakshman. If I lose him, what else would be left for me?
Brace yourself, Ram. You cannot grieve and fret like this. Your despair will damage the morale of our troops, more than the enemy's arrows. Please, do not worry, Ram. Sita surely must be alive.
Alive? But I saw Sita slain before my very eyes.
I know. It must be one of Indrajit's magic tricks.
A magic trick? What?
Yes, and we must not allow his tricks to perplex us. Your grief will only give him strength. Indrajit's strength lies in his magical powers. The only way to take these powers away from him is to attack Indrajit while he performs his tantric rites in the cave of Nikumbhila. Indrajit makes it a rule to perform a religious ceremony. He offers sacrifices to the goddess Nikumbhila. From the evening hours, way until nightfall, he gains his extraordinary magical powers through this ceremony.
I see. No. We still have so many soldiers wounded. My brother Lakshman, for instance. No, I think it will be very hard for us to attack Nikumbhila cave now.
Ram. In the Himalayas.
Yes, the Himalayas. What about them? You rest back, Jambavan. Talk to me.
I know there are some herbs there that can heal our wounds in the Himalayas.
The Himalayas? Oh, I'm afraid that's too far away. Lakshman.
There he is!
Hanuman has come! Jai! Jai! Jai!
Here comes Hanuman! But what has he got on his shoulders? He's carrying something.
That is a mountain he is carrying.
Along with the herbs, he has brought the whole mountain.
Hanuman, the herbs are on this mountain.
Yes. Look for the landmarks where I have stuck trees in the soil. Hurry. Apply the herbs to Lakshman's wounds.
Yes, it's a miracle.
At last. Brother Ram. Oh, Lakshman, you have regained consciousness. Hanuman, you too are a beloved brother to me.
Oh, Indrajit, my son.
My beloved son slew an illusion of Sita. I shall now slay the real one. Anyone so devoted to Ram deserves to die.
Will you now add to your sins by killing Sita, an innocent woman? Look at Prahast, look at Kumbha, and Kumbhakarna. Each one fought bravely and died a hero's death. Even Indrajit died in battle. You who are brother, father, king to them all, do you want to disgrace their memory? The time has come for both of us to go forth and avenge our kinsmen.
I understand. But you will stay here and protect our women and children. Do you hear?
No power on earth can crush me. Not even Ram's.
Okay, so you also watched how Indrajit was killed. So of course the video did not show that, but then Indrajit also was killed after Lakshman. He came out of his unconscious state. Indrajit was doing his tantric yajna in the Nikumbila cave, and he before that killed that illusory Sita Devi. All that you watched. So Indrajit and a few of the soldiers, they went there, and then there Lakshmana kills Indrajit. Okay, so that portion was not shown in the video. Then later what happens was Lord Rama gets Indra's chariot. Indra sends his personal chariot to Lord Rama, and some celestial weapons and armor. All of these things are sent by Indra to Lord Rama to help him destroy Ravana. So again, an amazing battle happens, a very powerful battle happens, and at the end of that, with the help of Vibhishana's advice, Lord Rama sends a blazing arrow, golden arrow, Brahmastra, straight into the heart of Ravana, and Ravana also dies. So this battle also happens. It's a very descriptive battle that happened, and it is there in the Ramayana. You can read about that, how the maneuvers, different ways in which both of them fought. All of those things are mentioned there. You can read in the Ramayana. So the day when Ravana was killed, that particular day is known as Vijaya Dashami. You may remember your puja holidays, right? After you finish your exams around September, October, you have your puja holidays, especially in India. That puja holidays basically marks the death of Ravana by the hands of Lord Rama. So it's known as Vijaya Dashami. Dashami is the 10th day in the Sanskrit calendar, in the Vedic calendar, and Vijaya means victory. Okay, so it's also known as Rama Vijayotsava. Utsava means festival, Vijaya means victory, and Rama Vijayotsava. So that is the festival that is celebrated to mark the victory of Lord Rama over Ravana, of virtue over vice, of good over bad or evil. Okay, so that is the day. And afterwards, Lord Rama sends Hanuman to get Sita Devi, and Hanuman explains the whole thing to Sita Devi, what had happened. And while they were leaving, they were walking towards Lord Rama's camp. At that time, Hanuman says, these Rakshasis who are there in the Ashokavana, they were disturbing you so much, torturing you so much. Mother, if you give me permission, I'll kill all of them. Then Sita Devi said, no, my dear son, they were just following their master's orders. So it is, it's not that you have to kill all of them. Now they have a different master and they will follow their orders. It's okay, leave them like that. So then Hanuman understands what a nice heart, such a merciful heart Sita Devi has. When Sita Devi comes back, you remember I had told you in Aranya Kanda how Sita Devi had gone in shelter of Agni. So she has to come back from Agni. So a fire was lit, a pyre was lit with a lot of wood. And this Maya Sita, who was actually in Ashokavana, entered into that fire, and Agni Devata himself came out of that fire along with his daughter like Sita. So Sita Devi, the original Sita Devi, came out of that fire. Many times people criticize saying that, oh, Lord Rama made his wife enter into fire and all that. But then this exchange had to happen. They don't know about this. If you read Valmiki Ramayana, we will come to know about all this kind of information that is there. Okay, so once that was done, everybody got onto the Pushpaka Viman because it was almost the end of the 14 years, because after the death of Ravana, Vibhishana had to become the king. He had to be coronated as the king. And not only that, so many Rakshasas and Vanaras had died, especially Rakshasas had died. Their last rites had to be performed. So all of these things took time. So Dashami, remember this, Dashami is when Lord Rama killed Ravana. After that, Purnima came, and then again 15 days passed by till the Amavasya day. Amavasya day is the day when the moon is not there. It's a new moon day. Okay, you can't see, so it's very dark. On that day, Amavasya daytime, Lord Rama left from, not just Lord Rama, the Pushpaka Viman is such an amazing machine, if you have to call it, that if there are more people, then it will expand in size. If there are only few people, it will contract in size. Practically, all the Vanaras and Vibhishan, some of the Rakshasas, all of them accompanied Lord Rama, Sita Devi and Lakshmana to Ayodhya. So it was like a huge floating, not city, country. It was like that, which was flying over. So on the way, they made some stopovers, like in Bharadwaja Muni's ashram. So many places they stopped. But once they were closer to Ayodhya, and it was the time of sunset, immediately Lord Rama sent Hanuman ahead so that he can go and stop Bharata, because you remember Bharata had taken a vow that if Lord Rama did not return in 14 years, the last day he will enter fire. This is what he had told. So to stop Bharata and also invite Guha for the reception of Lord Rama, he sent Hanuman ahead. And right in time, Bharata was just about to enter into the fire. He went there and stopped Bharata from entering the fire. Then on the day of night of Amavasya, the information spread. The moment Bharata knew that Lord Rama was returning, all over Ayodhya there were celebrations. And to make it easier for Lord Rama to identify which is Ayodhya, because they were coming in the night, and in the night they will not be able to see where they are. So to let Lord Rama identify Ayodhya, they lit a lot of lamps everywhere. So it was like a garland of lamps. And that day is known as Deepavali. Vali means like Ratnavali, Namavali, we say it's a garland. Deepavali means a garland of lamps. So that is how this the festival of Deepavali is celebrated. So remember this, Ramachandra Vijayotsava or Vijaya Dashami. Okay, so Dashami is the 10th day. Then 11th day Ekadashi, Dwadashi, Trayodashi, Chaturdashi. Then Purnima came. Then again the first day it started from Pratima or Ekat. Then Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Sashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dashami, Ekadashi, Dwadashi, Trayodashi, Chaturdashi, and Amavasya. So how many days? 5 here. So almost 21, 3 weeks went by after Lord Rama killed Ravana, and by the time they reached Ayodhya, it was the last day of the 14 years. Okay, so on that day, Lord Rama returned and Deepavali was celebrated. So you can see here how they are getting down from the Pushpaka Viman. And then after a few days, Lord Rama was installed as the emperor of the whole world. He was made the emperor of the whole world. And let's watch that video now. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. Watch this video.
Vishnu himself on his Garuda.
You are right. He does.
This battle between you and I shall be the end of it all. Citizens of Lanka, take heed. Your king, Ravan, whom you consider a symbol of eternal power, watch him die at the hands of a mere mortal.
Ram, just tell me where your conceit comes from, huh? Your boastful lips will never speak such words again. Brave soldiers of Lanka, you know only too well who is the mightiest of all here. Come on, Ram, fight!
So be it, Ravan. Fight. Now he's dead. Huh? I can't believe my own eyes.
What power is this greater than mine?
Oh, you're going too far now, I tell you. Don't you dare! Give up, Ram! Give up!
Shanti, Shanti.
May you rest in peace, Brother Ravan.
It is all over. Soldiers of Lanka, King Ravan has gone back to Mother Earth. Give up fighting. Lay down your arms and devote yourselves to restore the glory of your country with your new king, Vibhishan.
Ram.
Ram! Thank you all. But when I think of the people who died for me, I feel sad. I will meditate and pray for them from now on and beg their forgiveness.
You don't need to do that. All you need is to live in peace with Ram, to make their death a glorious sacrifice.
I will remember what you said, Sugriva.
Vibhishan, the new king of Lanka, presents Ram and Sita with the Viman, the flying chariot, to return to Ayodhya. As they return, Sita gazes at Ram with mixed feelings, happy to be reunited with him after a long period of separation, and sorrowful too for the precious lives lost for her sake in the avoidable war. Ayodhya celebrates the safe return of their beloved king, and they live happily thereafter. A few years later, Ram returns to the heavens, and Sita returns to Mother Earth.
Okay, so that was the end of the video. Let's continue. Today we'll go a little longer than usual. So, because it's a long, so today's pastime place are two places. I already told you about Tirupulani. Okay, that is one place. And this is the satellite shot of the Ram Setu, the bridge that was built by Lord Rama. So this is the southernmost tip. Of course, the southernmost tip is Kanyakumari. But if you see, you know, in terms of the direction towards Sri Lanka, this is a little southeastern direction. And this is Ramanathapuram, the district in which Rameshwaram is. And you can see this, there is a bridge here called Pamban. Okay, Pamban Bridge. And this is Rameshwaram. From Rameshwaram, they reach Dhanushkodi. Dhanushkodi is the point from where you can see the bridge today. But actually, it is said Tirupulani is somewhere here. If you can see the arrow, you know, this is where Tirupulani is. And the bridge started from here. The bridge actually started from here and continued like this. Okay, so this is the bridge. You can see it's called Adam's Bridge or Ram Setu. And this is the top of Sri Lanka. Okay, it's called the Gulf of Mannar. So this is actually there. The bridge is still there. So if you go to Rameshwaram, then two places you should visit. One is Tirupulani, because that's the place where Vibhishana took shelter of Lord Rama. It's the place where Lord Rama worshipped Varuna. And it is also the place where Varuna with his wife took shelter of Lord Rama. And it is also the place where the building of the bridge actually started. Okay, so it started from here and it continued like this. So it's an amazing place. You should definitely go and see that place. From Tirupulani, there is another place called Setukarai. You can see that just on the shore of the ocean, there is a Hanuman, Setu Bandhana Hanuman temple is there. Okay, so it's an amazing place. You can go and visit these two places. So if you go to Rameshwaram, then you can go to Dhanushkodi, from where you can see the bridge, and you can also go to Tirupulani to have darshan of Lord Rama and Hanuman there. Okay, so this is another satellite shot. This is from the side of Sri Lanka. So this is India. You see here, this is Rameshwaram, this is Dhanushkodi. The bridge is coming like this and to the top of Sri Lanka here. Okay, so this is the underwater bridge. So Hare Krishna, thank you very much for attending today. I'm sorry for the disturbances that were caused. Some uninvited people had entered and they were causing a lot of disturbance for me. They were trying to take control of my screen, and my screen was getting covered totally. So I could not see the PowerPoint presentation. You will not be able to see that. For me, the whole screen got covered. So I had to keep removing them from the meeting. So that's why there was a lot of gaps in between. So sorry about that. Okay. Now for the quiz announcement. Let me put it in the chat. This is a quiz link for today. I'll share on YouTube also. Right, there you go. Right, so now we will play Nam Ramayana. It's slightly longish, so I hope all of you will. It's beautiful though, so follow this Nam Ramayana. What is this? The video again. Okay, I'll play the Nam Ramayana in just a minute. Yeah, now I'll share the screen. Just a minute. Now, some things which you might find it a little different is this one. Okay, so it says here, Vibhishanarpita Rangakaram. So this says that Vibhishana was given Ranganatha's deity. So I had mentioned this to you earlier also, that Lord Rama gave the Ranganatha deity who is there in Srirangam, where I am from. That Ranganatha deity was given to Vibhishana by Lord Rama. Okay, so we will understand a little more about this tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day, and we will understand a little more about this. And this is also a very nice verse. If you see, you know, it says, Sakala Jiva Samrakshakaram. Sakala Jiva means all the living entities Lord Rama protects. Samrakshaka, Ram, and Samasta Loka, the entire world, he is the one who's sustaining the entire world. So this is it's very nice. The whole Yuddha Kanda, if you see all the verses, if you get it with the meaning, then it's very, very beautiful. So I'll not explain the meaning, but then you can go on to Google and then check for the meanings, or maybe in the description of the YouTube videos which I'm sharing, the Ramayana videos also I'm sharing on YouTube separately, apart from the classes, I mean the sessions, camp sessions. So there I will add the meaning also. I'm only including the lyrics right now. Maybe next week or something, I will add the meanings also of each of the verses, so you can get the meanings from there. Right? Okay. Right, so yesterday's winner and today's winner, I'm going to announce tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow is when I'll be announcing the winners for Sundarakanda and Yuddha Kanda. And tomorrow we will be concluding the uh, Ramayana Kids Camp. And those who are there live, all of you will be getting the certificate also of completion. Okay. So many of you have raised your hands. The numbers are only increasing now. Okay. Lasya, go ahead, unmute yourself. Lasya or Lasya?
Sir, Lasya.
Lasya, okay, Lasya. Yeah.
Sir, what is today's activity?
Today's activity is again you can do a drawing of the entire Yuddha Kanda. Okay. You can either do that, or in I had thought of, I don't know how many of you will be able to do that, in 2 stanzas write the entire Yuddha Kanda. One stanza is 4 lines, like poetry. Okay, so if you can write the entire Yuddha Kanda in 8 lines, so one stanza is 4 lines and the next stanza is another 4 lines, in just like a poem, like in 2 stanzas, if you can describe the whole Yuddha Kanda and post it on the Facebook group. Okay, no, let's not do drawing, because yesterday also we did drawing, so you can do poetry today. Okay, Lasya? Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Abhimanyu, go ahead.
Sir, I have been trying to I've raised my hand and I was going crazy since 3 days. I was going, sir, please, 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 now choose me at least. Finally, I've got it on. I don't believe it, sir. Sir, I have a doubt. Like, the doubt is this, that about, like, in the past, when you used to pray, even a little, God used to come in front of you. आज के ज़माने में ऐसा होता ही नहीं है.
So in the earlier days, that much faith people had in the Lord. So the question is whether we have that much faith or not. No, so if we definitely, I mean, all of us have experienced the presence of God in our lives, right? When we have prayed, He need not come directly in front of us and show Himself to us, but then He shows Himself in different ways. So when we pray to Him, and then the Lord answers our prayers in the manner in which we may not expect. So that is the Lord's hand in our lives, right? So in Kali Yuga, the best way of praying to God is by chanting His names. Okay, Lord Rama is there, Lord Krishna. We chant His names. That's the best way of connecting with the Lord. Okay, so yeah, earlier days people were very pure in their lives, not just when they were praying to the Lord. Generally, in their lives, they were very pure people, and therefore the Lord used to appear in front of them. Okay.
So one more doubt.
Yes.
In the past, like, how did they used to fly the Vanaras? How did they used to come in the air? According to the laws of science, gravity, they cannot go into the air. Yes, like Hanuman ji, Sugriva ji, Angad ji, etc. They had magical powers. They were blessed, but not all the Vanaras. I had seen in the videos and pictures many Vanaras are flying.
Yeah, not all, some of them, and that is what is mentioned. So they had siddhis. There are great yogis who are practicing Ashtanga yoga, and they have these Ashta siddhis: Anima, Laghima, Prapti, Mahima, Ishita, Vashita, like that. 8 siddhis are there. Anima means they can become smaller than the smallest. Like if you lock them up in a room, through the keyhole they will come, or some small gap, they will come out. Laghima means they can become very big, like Hanuman had that siddhi. So Prapti means to obtain whatever they want, they will be able to get. So these are all siddhis that people can get even today if we practice Ashtanga Yoga properly. But it's very, very difficult to practice Ashtanga Yoga because in Kali Yuga, the process is chanting the Lord's names. Okay, so we don't need to do any magic to worship God. Ultimately, we'll have to become good people. Okay, with goodness, godliness, and goodness are very close to each other. If we are good in our heart, then God will reside in our heart. Okay, all right, Abhimanyu, thank you. Okay, Sanvi, you put Sita as your background. Okay, yes, Sanvi.
I'm actually referring to the books in my house for the pictures as you're forgetting to move the slides.
Sorry, Sanvi?
I'm just referring to the books in my house because you're forgetting to move the slides.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you so much, Sanvi. Yeah, sometimes I get so engrossed with the description, I forget to move the slide. Thank you, Sanvi. All right, Srijan has a doubt. Where are you, Srijan? I just saw you. I lost you. Just a minute. Yes, Srijan. Srijan, I can't see you. Just a minute. Where am I? I have to look for myself now. Okay, there you go. Where are you, Srijan? Okay, Srijan, can you raise your hand? Wait, let me search for you. Srijan. Yeah, there you go. Yes, Srijan, unmute yourself.
Sir, my brother didn't write yesterday's exam, so can you send the link in chat?
Yesterday's?
Yes, sir.
Quiz exam.
Yesterday's exam link, sir.
Okay. Are you in the Telegram group, Srijan?
Yes, sir.
I posted it there. Right now, I don't have it with me.
My mother is, sir. My mother joined the group.
Okay. So then I posted the link there in the Telegram group.
No, sir. We didn't found it.
It's there. Just scroll up a little bit, you'll find it.
Sir, today's link is showing Yuddha Kanda. Spelling mistake. Is it spelling mistake? But the questions are from Yuddha Kanda.
Let me check. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay, I'll change that.
Share our YouTube link. Can you please?
Yeah, okay. I made it as Yuddha.
Sir, I have another doubt.
4 responses. Already 334 of you have answered the quiz. That's amazing. Yes,
sir,
Srijan?
I have another doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, why did Sita enter the fire?
So that the original Sita Devi can come. I had narrated earlier, right, that Only the Maya Sita went with Ravana. The original Sita
Yes,
was
sir.
over in the custody of Agni Devata. So she had to come back, right? So that's why the Maya Sita entered the fire and Agni Dev brought out the original Sita Devi.
Okay, sir. Sir, I searched it in internet. Ravana's body is in Sri Lanka in his secret cave.
Okay. Did you see, if you go to the Telegram group, I have also posted one photograph. You can take a look at that also.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Srijan, thank you. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Parth Dubey, you can unmute yourself.
Sir, I have one question that when when Agni Sita entered the fire, then where did Agni Sita went?
She would have gone along with Agni to his, his abode wherever he used to stay, like that.
Okay, sir.
Who's this? I have a question.
By YouTube channel,
Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's your name?
Prabhuji, my name is Harvansh and I have a question.
Yes, Harvansh, what's your question?
Prabhuji, but how do you know if this Ramayana is real or how do you know?
Okay. So, say you hear from somebody about America. Have you been to America anytime?
No, sir.
Okay. So, how do you know America is real?
So my friends told me.
So, the point is that you hear from people.
Narrated stories.
Yeah.
Sir, but how do you know if it's a narrated story or not?
It is narrated because it has come just like how we gain knowledge from authorities, right? Even today, like say something is happening in China or something is happening in America. How do we know? We get to hear from the news channels or we read newspapers. That's how we get to know what's happening, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
news channels or newspapers are authorities to present news. So similarly, when it comes to spiritual subject matters, there are authorities. Like you go to school, you learn mathematics. You don't learn mathematics from your neighbor. You learn from your teacher who's authorized to teach you in a particular school. So similarly, when it comes to spiritual subject matters, there are spiritual universities, paramparas. And when we take knowledge from those paramparas, the knowledge will be authentic, not changed at all. That's how we accept those parampara. And once we accept the parampara completely, then we know that that's right. As far as Ramayana is true or not is concerned, all the places where Lord Rama has visited, those places are there. Leelas that happen there. So all of these show that these actually it's a history. It's not some fictional thing that somebody wrote. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. But what about Mahabharata?
Mahabharata also. Mahabharata happened 5,000 years back.
Yes,
And the parampara that I come in, okay, I have received knowledge from my spiritual master, my guru. My guru received it from Srila Prabhupada, and this line Srila Prabhupada received it from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. Like that, this parampara goes up to 5,000 years ago.
Prabhu, it's like a cycle.
It's like a link. Okay, so this knowledge has come down in that link. Guru Shishya.
So it's like a chain. It's like a chain of events.
It's like a chain.
Events and people.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay, who are you both? Brother and sister?
Prabhuji, my name is Ambrish Mishra and she is my sister Narayani Mishra.
Wow, Ambarish and Narayani.
Yes,
Wonderful names. Wonderful names. Do you know who Ambarish is? Don't tell me.
Ambarish Maharaj, right?
Oh yes, you know about Ambarish Maharaj. Fantastic.
Yeah, we know the story. So, yeah, my brother has a doubt. He wants to ask you.
Okay, where are
Go
you?
ahead, Ambarish Mishra.
Prabhu, I have that out, but Vibhishan told when I am that out related to the today's Kanda, right?
Yuddha Kanda.
Yeah, that only. In Yuddha Kanda, Vibhishan told that you should call Varun Dev of the deity, but for what? Because in Quest, we thought it was all of the above.
Wow.
Oh really? Let me check. So what you are asking me for the answer of the quiz? Is that what you are doing now?
We have solved the quiz, but I didn't understand it. But why Vibhishan told that we should call the deity of Varun Dev?
Yeah, that's what he told, isn't it? He told Lord Rama. He's the one who gave that suggestion. So I don't want to discuss the answer here. There is somebody who has not yet taken the quiz, so I don't think we should discuss quiz here. If you have a question, you can send me on Telegram. If you have a question about the quiz, if you have some clarification.
Prabhu, my sister has it. My sister has a doubt.
Okay.
Prabhuji,
Narayani, where are you from?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Okay, great.
Hyderabad.
Yeah, Prabhuji. We are under the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So,
and we are the disciples of Guru Maharaj.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Okay.
So, my doubt is that did Maya Sita burn inside the fire or the real Sita?
Inside the fire. So she went inside the fire, and then the original Sita Devi came out of the fire. So you see, Sita Devi, she prayed to Agni to protect Hanuman when his tail was set on fire, right? So it didn't affect. So like that. That's why she didn't get burnt.
Okay. Because she was the goddess.
Yes, she is Lakshmi herself, Narayani. Narayana's wife, Narayani.
Narayani.
This Narayani. I mean, this Narayani has the name of Narayani, the original Narayani.
Oh God.
Okay, Narayani and Ambarish, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. I have a doubt. Who's that?
So it is. You unmuted us again.
Oh, two of you are there. What's your name? What are your names?
So our name is Ruchi and Suchi.
Ruchi and
Suchi.
Siddhi.
Suchi.
Suchi.
Yes.
Okay, Ruchi and Suchi. Oh,
we both are twins.
Oh, you both are twins. Yeah, you look like twins.
So I had a doubt.
Yes. Go ahead, Ruchi.
Is the bridge which Ram and all those other people made, is it yet there?
Yes, that's what I said. If you go to Rameshwaram, you can see. But it is transformed into a coral reef right now. But still, there are those stones which Lord Rama had used, the Vanaras had used to build the bridge. There are some stones which are there in Rameshwaram. You can see. You can actually take those stones and put it in water and they'll float. So those things are there. Wow, yeah, it is. So you should go there. So go to Rameshwaram, visit the temple in Rameshwaram, go to Dhanushkodi, look at the bridge, then go to Tirupulani and look at Setukarai also. It's an amazing place. You can spend a couple of days there in Rameshwaram.
Sir, we have actually visited Rameshwaram.
You have, but you haven't gone to these places. You didn't go to Dhanushkodi?
No.
You should go. Where are you from?
I'm from Bangalore.
So that's not very far from Bangalore. So
we are from Bihar actually.
You're actually from Bihar, but right now you're not in Bihar. From Bihar, yes, it's far. So from Bangalore, it might be what? 7 + 4, maybe 10, 12 hours journey. Not now, don't travel now. Later, when the situation improves, so you can visit. Rameshwaram. Okay, Ruchi, Suchi. Thank you. Right. Who else? Let me see. Somebody has a doubt. Who's this?
Sir, my name is Sujitra
Chitra?
and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Where are you from?
I'm from Bangalore.
Oh, you're also from Bangalore. A lot of Bangaloreites. Okay. How's the situation in Bangalore?
It is not too good because there are many cases in my apartment too. I live in an apartment.
Be careful, stay safe, don't go out. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I will
Yes, Chitra.
take precaution. So, sir, my question was that the eighth avatar of Vishnu was Buddha, but when we consider Ram and all under Hindu religion, why only Buddha is prayed by another religion called Buddhism?
Okay. So ninth is Buddha, not eighth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So ninth is Buddha, 10th is Kalki. So there are other personalities also who had given rise to a different religion, like Rishabhadev. He is one of the incarnations of Vishnu, and it is from Rishabhadev that Jainism started. Okay, did you know that?
No, sir.
Yeah. So Lord Rishabhadev was the originator of a different religion called as Jainism. So it's not only Lord Buddha. There have been other personalities also. Of course, sometimes some personalities they branch off with a different understanding that they give to the reality. So that way, some followers start following them, and that eventually turns out to become a religion. Okay, so that's how it is.
Okay, thank you.
Rishabhadev is also one of the incarnations of Vishnu or Krishna. Okay, thank you,
Yes.
Sujitra. Okay, now let me see. Sri Ram. Go ahead, Sri Ram.
I wanted the link of how to donate for Iskcon in Rameshwar.
Iskcon in Rameshwaram.
Yes, sir. For the book set.
Oh, for the book set. Iskcon Sri Rangam, not Rameshwaram.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wait. I'll have to type that link. Okay.
He basically wants to get those books.
Okay, okay. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, so that's the link. I'll share it on YouTube as well. You can go there if you want to. Okay, so done.
Thank you,
Done,
sir.
Sriram. Thank you. Right, let me see who has a question. Sujitra, Radha, you have a doubt? Go ahead, Radha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I went
Where are
for
you?
yoga. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from America. Actually, I'm living in America.
Oh, so it is 6 o'clock in the morning for you now.
Yeah, 7 o'clock actually. So it. I mean, I'm the only person in my family. Like me, my sister, and my parents are the only people in our family that live in America. So.
So, what time did you wake up to join the camp?
So basically, my mom and dad have this chanting call that they have every morning, where they collect their friends and stuff to chant. So they're always awake, which is at 6 o'clock. So they're awake at that time. So I tell my mom, you just log in and I'll wake up, because I'm kind of used to waking up at 6 o'clock because I attend yoga that time. So it's a really good time actually. It's like right in the morning, just hearing Ramayana.
Very nice, very nice. I'm glad to hear that, Radha. Yes, what's your question, Radha?
Yeah, so like if I get the book, because I want to donate, and I do have a few rupees, but I don't know how to donate from over here all the way to Sri Rangam. Like, how do I do that?
You can do it from an Indian account, not from an American account. The payment gateway link that I have given. So maybe you should transfer it to somebody who has an Indian account and ask them to use the link and pay. But the thing is, the book, if you want the books, then we will not be able to send them to US. We'll have to send it to an Indian address. So
Yeah, maybe I can ask my grandparents.
yeah, that's okay. So you can give their address when the payment gateway, you're making the payment at that time. You can give the Indian address and then we will send it over there. They can probably pass it on to you in the US. Is that okay, Radha?
Actually, I went to Yatra, and we were visiting places of Lord Ram, and one of them actually, they had this giant tank, kind of like a fish tank, but bigger, and they have put a stone in it that said, and it was actually floating.
Floating, yes.
So,
yes. So you see, was that in Rameshwaram or Dhanushkodi? Where did you see that stone?
I think we went to Anjanadri, and then over there it had a temple, and I think there was a stone in that.
Hampi?
Yeah, we went to Hampi and Kishkinda, Rishamuk, and also forget the other place.
Okay.
Panchavati or something. Yeah.
Panchavati is not there. It's near Nashik.
Nasik. Yes.
Nashik.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's, yeah. Yeah, and actually I've read Ramayana like 15 times. I'm really obsessed with it.
Wonderful. That's very nice. Okay. So thank you so much, Radha. Keep in touch, right? So you can, I mean, right now my chats are all completely filled, but then maybe after a few days, then it'll come back to normalcy. Not this madness. It's a nice madness to handle, but then you can keep in touch. You can ask your parents to write to me if they want anything. Okay, Radha?
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Sir, I have a doubt. Who's that? What's it?
Sir, my name is Shriya.
Shriya from where?
Sir, from Bangalore.
You're also from Bangalore. Ah, okay. Yes, Shriya, tell me.
Sir, like in before and all, in the past and all, people had so much belief in God and they believed that God is there and all. But in this time, people they don't believe in God. They say there is no such thing as God and all. And for Mahabharata and Ramayana, they say it as mythology and all. But why?
That's a very
Why
bad
have this
word to use for our epics. You see, we should never call our epics as mythology. Myth means, if you go and read an English dictionary, myth means false. Okay, so mythology means something which is false. How can we say our epics are history to be false? So this was all done with a particular purpose of misleading people. So we should never call our books, our scriptures, our Puranas, Itihasas as mythology. The reason why people don't have so much faith in God, so much today, is because that's the nature of the world today. Kali Yuga is like that. If you see in Satya Yuga, which was the first Yuga, everybody was virtuous. Everybody followed all the principles of Dharma. They were devotees of the Lord. Then in Treta Yuga, which was Lord Rama's time, so you see, in Satya Yuga, everybody was virtuous. Everybody was like the Devatas. There were no demons at all. Okay. And if there were demons, they lived in different lokas, different realms of the universe. So on earth, you see only people who are devotees. So Devatas lived in one place, in a different loka. Danavas or Daityas or Rakshasas and Asuras lived in a different loka, like that. In Treta Yuga, you see on the same planet, in different countries, Devatas and Danavas or Rakshasas lived. Like in Lanka, the Asuras lived, and in India, all the Vanaras, they were all Devatas, they lived. So they were in different countries. Okay. Then if you come to Dwapara Yuga, which is a Mahabharat time, you see in the family, you had both Devatas and Asuras. Like Pandavas were Devatas and Duryodhana, the Kauravas were Asuras. In Kali Yuga, where most people have a combination within oneself, there are Devatas and Asuras. So sometimes we behave good, sometimes we behave bad. Okay, so this is how the deterioration with time, the reduction in the godly qualities of people have happened in this manner. Okay, so that's why generally people, they don't believe in God. And with more time passing, Kali Yuga will become only worse and worse and worse. It'll get worse. More and more people will stop believing in God. So we should follow our faith. We should follow what the scriptures say. Let's not worry about others. You read Ramayana, Shriya, you read the Mahabharata, you read the Bhagavad Gita, you equip yourself with love of God, not fear of God. Don't fear God. God is a personality to be loved. Okay, so develop love of God. Okay, Shriya?
Okay, sir. Sir, one more doubt, sir. Sir, when all the Vanaras threw the stones, they started floating. So now also if we write Shri Ram and if we put it in water, will it float?
No, not now. At that time, they had that special boon. Varuna had told that, okay, if your Vanaras do that, then it will happen. We are not Vanaras. We are not living in Treta Yuga also. Okay, Shriya?
Okay, sir.
Okay, who else? All right, this is a last person. Let me see somebody whom I have not called in the last few days. Somebody new. Okay, Tashvi and your sister Ishanvi. Okay, yes, Tashvi and Ishanvi. What's your doubt?
Sir,
Yes.
how did Ravana make his face 10 faces?
He was born. That's why he is known as Dashamukha or Dashanana. No, he was.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
She is having doubt that Rama is cutting his face again and again. How come face is coming?
Oh, okay. So he had that boon from Lord Brahma that his heads can never be cut. Okay, so it was because of the blessing of Lord Brahma that despite Lord Rama chopping off his heads, still heads were growing like mushroom. Okay, Tashvi?
Sir?
Yes?
Sir, I live near Hampi in Bellary.
Oh.
I have visited Hampi 5 times.
5 times. I have visited Hampi 1 time. So I have come to your place then. Where near Bellary? Where do you stay?
I stay in Bellary.
In Bellary itself. I have come to Bellary once, long time ago. I visited our Iskcon temple in Toranagallu. You know Toranagallu?
No.
What's that? The Jindal factory is there.
Yes, sir, we visited.
I stayed there for a week. 1 week I stayed there. So next time when you come to Sri Rangam, please visit us. Call me.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. All right. So we have come to the end of today. See, 6:53. Quite a long time. So we will meet again tomorrow. Tomorrow I will spend more time with you. Okay, so probably I'll take a lot more questions. Today, let's stop here and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you all so much for joining. Manas, Anudeep, all of you, Tashvi, everybody, Shriya,